Yo, in today's video, I want to compare two fundamentally strong and giant crypto projects that have been around for many years. And those two projects are Cosmos and Cardano. The goal of this video is to show you how these two projects actually differentiate, because they're actually trying to achieve very different goals and apply very different logics. But this time around a year ago, I was extremely bullish and excited about Cardano. I think a lot of people have really undervalued and underestimated how big this project actually is. And now, over the past couple of months, I switched over more from Cardano into Cosmos, because I think Cosmos is at a stage right now how Cardano was this time around a year ago. Extremely under the radar, extremely undervalued, and kind of forgotten. But this, my friends, is probably going to change, because strong fundamentals eventually will always reflect in the chart. And also extremely important notice here, if you watch this video now and see in the comments that people are asking you to join a WhatsApp group or to connect with them on WhatsApp, don't ever fall for this. This is an absolute scam. Now that we got that off the way, please make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel. It's really important. Also like this video, just click the like button, get this video to 200 likes. And finally, also make sure that you watch this entire thing. All right, just to set the frame here, I'm not going to go deep into any sort of technicals. I want to make sure that you understand the differences between Cardano and Cosmos. We'll look into some network statistics and also some important items on their respective roadmaps to see what is coming, what can we expect from here. And then we put into relation how big of a difference is between the two projects in terms of market cap, in terms of price, in terms of all those kind of things. Remember, none of this is any sort of financial advice. You're old and mature enough to take full accountability and responsibility on your finances. I'm just a random guy on the internet that talks a lot about Cosmos, interoperability, talks a lot about crypto and blockchains, but it has nothing to do with you buying coins just because I talk about it, right? Don't do that. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to any other crypto YouTuber out there. This is just for entertainment purposes, and you should be fully aware of that. Now, the main difference between Cardano and Cosmos is that Cardano is what's called a layer 1 technology. Cardano is more like an Ethereum competitor. They focus a lot on making their blockchain faster, implementing sharding technology, implementing other things that make Cardano superior to Ethereum and can be used as a settlement layer to build DeFi applications, NFT applications, payment applications on top of Cardano, right? So this is the main purpose, to basically build the next generation of blockchains that is much faster, much more scalable. And they have taken so many years because they've basically started from absolute scratch, right? So in 2014, 2015, when they really started to go heavy on the research, they literally started from zero, right? Even though Ethereum had a lot of documentation already out there, and I'm sure they looked at that, but they really started from zero. They had a lot of academic influence, academic papers that they published, but also consulted from universities, right? And other people, individuals that are very knowledgeable when it comes to designing algorithms, mathematics, cryptography, right? There's so much that goes into that. And also, just for you to be aware of that, right? Crypto, in the end of the day, is just lines of code, right? It's just lines of code. It's just numbers in a computer that anybody can run. Okay, so just on a very high level, that's what crypto is. And Cardano has taken years to build that, or to reinvent the wheel, basically, because they thought, man, Ethereum is great, Bitcoin is great, but we want to try something else. Now, why is Cardano hyped right now, and why is Cardano hyped over the years, right? So the main thing, I think, is that number one, they have a star founder with Charles Hoskinson, who is also the co-founder of Ethereum, right? So he was living together with Vitalik, Gavin Wood, Joseph Lubin in Miami for half a year or something. And they have designed Ethereum. They have brainstormed how to do that. They just had different opinions, and then they split apart, right? So Charles left and then started Cardano shortly after, 2 or 3 years after that. So they have the star founder. They have a lot of hype because their technology has been peer reviewed. It's very academic, and on a very high level, they have very solid partnerships, even with governments, but we're going to look into that in a second. And another thing is that also the community is really sophisticated. So these guys are sometimes a bit annoying, I know, but that's what happens when you have a project that is able to create a very strong, loyal almost cult-like community. We have it on Bitcoin, we have it on Ethereum, now we have it on Cardano, and we will have it on any other chain that is successful, because that's just what people are so convinced of, that they have to use it, right? Just think about car companies. You have people that love Mercedes and hate BMW. They have the exact opposite. Now, Cosmos, on the other hand, now that you understand, Cardano is trying to build a layer 1 technology, a public blockchain, a public network that anybody can build upon. What is Cosmos trying to build? Cosmos is trying to build a layer underneath that, right? It's a layer 0 technology. And that means that layer 1s like Cardano, like Ethereum, like Avalanche, like Algorand, Polkadot, they can connect through Cosmos to each other. So it's basically enabling compatibility. And that's why I'm so heavy on Cosmos, because I think they're just resolving a much bigger problem, right? Sure, scalability, faster throughput, all those kind of things are super important. And that's great that Cardano is working on that. But I think Cosmos has an edge here because they're just resolving a much bigger problem, right? So that's why I think Cosmos has more potential to grow. It also has more potential to probably outperform a lot of other cryptocurrencies out on the market. We'll also look into the utility of the token later. But this is basically on a very high level how these two projects differentiate, right? So Cardano, layer 1 technology, aims to be Ethereum faster, cheaper, and more decentralized. And then you have Cosmos, which is a layer 0 technology that aims to connect all blockchains and build this internet of blockchains where everybody has full sovereignty and everybody can connect and talk to each other, right? Just like on the internet, imagine you open the web internet and then you have different websites or different browsers, right? So Cardano is that website or that browser. And then Cosmos is basically the TCP/IP protocol, which makes it all compatible to each other, so that you don't always have to download a new website or download a new thing in order to open it. No, it's all on the same platform and it's all connected within seconds because it's compatible to each other. All right, so let's first start by comparing the two coins, ADA and also Atom. Let's start with ADA, trading at $1.13 right now, which is, by the way, crazy in my opinion, even though it just dumped a lot. But $1.13 is crazy. I remember it was at 3, 4, 5 cents forever, right? For a long, long time, nobody cared about it. And then even in 2018, when it was just research papers and literally nothing that they had, just a wallet and research papers, it also traded at $1.25, but then it corrected heavily and went down to less than 10 cents, even less than 5 cents. So I know ADA from basically when it launched in 2017. It came out in October. I bought my first ones around that time, actually, right when it came out. But anyway, has a market capitalization of 37 billion, almost 36.3 billion, which is super important because I know a lot of you, they don't really understand how can Cardano be bigger than Cosmos, even though the price is $1.13 and Cosmos is $10, right? But trust me, Cosmos is way, 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 way cheaper than Cardano. 50 billion fully diluted, which basically means that this balance, those 50 billion in difference between circulating market cap and fully diluted market cap, is still with the foundation, is still with the company, right? So they're still holding coins that are not on the market yet, that are locked, early investors, those kind of things. But yeah, that's what it is. Total supply, max supply is 45 billion coins, 32 billion are currently in the markets. So if you look at the market, at the charts here, we've seen that the all-time high was $2.45, crazy. We had this little peak here, and then we crashed a lot, basically down to February levels. So yeah, not really crazy crash, but we had this wick up and then went down. But it seems to be consolidating here a little bit. To be honest, I have no clue what's going to happen over the next couple of months. Are we going to see another bull run, another peak this year with new all-time highs? I believe yes, but I don't know. Crypto does what it does. There's a lot of factors that could also prevent this, right? For example, a stock market crash, another liquidity crisis, you name it, a lot of things that play into that, a major attack, a major regulation from a government, right? All those things factor in, but I think Cardano sooner or later is definitely going to achieve new all-time highs, and that is currently at $2.45. I even think Cardano can easily go to $10. Now, if we look on Cosmos here, on the other hand, we see it's trading at $10.11. You might think, man, that's actually more expensive than ADA, right? But the market cap is only 2.8 billion, right? 2.8 billion, and almost all coins are circulating. You see this infinite symbol here because Cosmos has a dynamic inflation that readjusts itself according to how much percentage of all circulating atom are being staked, right? So this is really, really interesting concept. And I think inflation is also a great, great thing to incentivize users to lock up their coins and to stake them, right? Because then you can pay out much higher staking rewards. We're going to log into that in a second as well. If you look at here the price chart, we can see that this thing has never really mooned, right? It has been going sideways for basically 3 years, almost 2.5 years. Shot up here in February to $23, peaked out at, what was it, $31. And now we have seen this crash down to $10, which in my opinion is accumulation phase. So at least that's what I'm doing. Again, doesn't mean that you should do it. It's just what I'm doing. But here we are. Now, let's compare the two. Let's throw the charts to each other, compare them to each other. And you can see that if we compare Cosmos to ADA, Cosmos has an upward potential of 1,200%, right? That's a 12x. So if Cosmos would have the market cap of Cardano, it would have been valued at $131 per atom, right? And I think that's not even unthinkable, right? It's not even unthinkable, especially considering that in 2018, in the first week of 2018, Cardano reached that market cap of 30 billion, I think even 40 billion back then, which was crazy. But back then they had literally nothing. And Cosmos, even right now, has a much bigger ecosystem than Cardano. So I think the asymmetries and the gaps between Cosmos and Cardano is extremely irrational right now. And I think the market is sooner or later going to price that in. Now, if we look a little bit deeper here on some network statistics on the Cardano blockchain, we can see that currently a total of 2,726 pools exist, staking pools that are operating the network, which is pretty decentralized, really cool to see. And a number of 705,000 delegators have staked their coins or have delegated them to those pools, and a total of 1.2 million accounts that is registered on the Cardano blockchain. So this thing has gone absolutely viral over the past couple of months. Now, besides the impressive network statistics, let me briefly introduce you how Cardano is actually structured, because I think a lot of people don't even know that. They just think Cardano is Charles Hoskinson, right? And his style and how he talks. So they don't like Cardano because they don't like the way Charles talks. But Cardano consists of 3 main organizations, I would say, which is the Cardano Foundation based in Switzerland, the Cardano Stiftung, and they just take care about bringing forth the Cardano brand, the Cardano project, and they also hold, I think, the treasury, right? Because they had a fundraiser and they're holding a lot of funds, but that's governed by the community. So we'll look into that in a second as well. Then you have IOHK, which is the tech arm based out of Hong Kong. So IOHK stands for Input Output Hong Kong. And Charles Hoskinson is the CEO there. And look at that incredible website. This is so cool. I played around with that for a while. It's so cool. Very cool website. But if you go here on About and then click on Team, you can see the incredible team at IOHK, right? So everybody limits Cardano to Charles Hoskinson, but look at that. You have an executive board of people, CMO, chief product officer, chief scientist, financial officer, commercial officer, CTO. And then here you have the research team, right? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 27 people. Then you have the development team, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. This doesn't end. I mean, this is like hundreds of people that work there. I mean, look at that. Then you have the formal methods team, engineers, quality assurance, and bunch of engineers, service reliability, right? Operational team, commercial team, business development team, product management. This thing is huge. Business analysis, project management, absolutely huge, guys. I mean, the point why I'm showing you this is because I know a lot of you are just on crypto Twitter and they don't look at those things. They don't even look like who's behind that, right? Who's actually behind that? They just look, they just probably see sometimes Charles Hoskinson tweet something and they're like, oh my God, that's they haven't delivered anything. But if so many people, 303 team members, by the way, here it says, 303 team members working on this project day and night. And this is just IOHK, which is just one of the organizations. Something has to come out of that, right? And we actually see that, right? And the third arm is Emurgo, which is kind of the marketing arm that brings the Cardano chain, the Cardano products to the masses. They have use cases here on their website, coffee supply chain. Then they have a partnership with the government of Uzbekistan and other projects. And also they keep track of all the media coverage here. So that's Emurgo. I think actually they're based out of London or Tokyo. I'm not really sure at the moment. But yeah, that's what it is. And then here you have basically the main Cardano website. They reorganized that after the Shelly hard fork last year, cardano.org. You can also spend so many hours here on that website. And if you click here on use cases, you can also see where the products can be used, right? So here it says product, Atala Trace, Emurgo solution. Then you have for governments, digital identities, right? That's Atala Prism. For finance, different sectors, different industries, different target clients. And yeah, the products are already there. Now, why is Cardano then so hated right now, right? Because a lot of people say like, oh my God, these guys haven't shipped anything. So they are so much hated because of that. So this is the roadmap of Cardano. There are 5 stages here. The first one is the foundation, the Byron stage, which we have been in up until May of 2020, 1 year and 3 months, 2 months ago. Then came Shelly, which launched the Cardano mainnet, right? Before that, they didn't even have a mainnet, guys. And that's why I say in 2018, they reached 40 billion market cap without even a mainnet. Then came Shelly. And now we're in a transition from Shelly to Goguen, right? And Goguen launches in different hard fork combinator events. So every couple of weeks, they have a major hard fork that is going to be forked into the code base. And the last one for that stage is coming in August, I think. So that's the big one. Why? Because that brings smart contracts. So Shelly brought the mainnet, Shelly brought the validator network, which you have seen 2,700 pools, quite good. And Goguen now brings smart contracts, right? So you can already issue tokens on top of Cardano, and Goguen brings smart contracts, which is incredibly anticipated, right? That's where most people are just waiting for to launch, because right now you can't do anything on Cardano. You can just send, receive, and stake and governance, which is great, but we need more, right? So the crypto community is super impatient about it, but it's coming. And you can also see here on Project Catalyst, which is another thing that I think most people don't even know what that is. It's basically the treasury management platform, which invites the community. I think there's over 200,000 people that frequently take part in that. And you can see here, this is just the Excel sheet from Daniel Ribar, because in order to participate in that, you have to create an account on IdeaScale. But please do that. It's really, really interesting. And you can learn a lot how Cardano governance works and how these projects are being funded. And you can also see they have these different tabs down here and categorize those applications according to whatever they do, right? So you have your stake pool resource, then you have like education and onboarding, then there's a DeFi thing, social network, marketplace, identity. So there's a lot of these projects from independent development communities, but also maybe from Cardano fans for many years that are requesting funds to build applications. And this thing is huge. I mean, they have so many projects that already are building on Cardano, right? Some of them are even already live trading on CoinGecko. For example, you have here OccamFi, which is already trading for a bit. They launched on Ethereum, but they're probably going to migrate to Cardano once smart contracts are enabled. This has been a bit of a hype project. Sunday Swap is coming up pretty soon. I think they just did their public sale. Yeah, and Occam is Cardano's smart DeFi layer. I haven't looked deeply into that. I just know that they're going to migrate over to Cardano once it's live. It's a launchpad solution, basically. Yeah. So they're basically an on-ramp for new projects, similar to what you see on Polkastar or stuff like that. But yeah, so that's Cardano. And just to give you a bit of a 360 insight of what Cardano is, who's behind it, what are they doing, what are some network stats. And speaking of 360, if you want to learn more and stay up to date with Cardano, join IOHK and follow them on YouTube. because every month they publish the Cardano 360 edition. It's basically a monthly recap and also outlook of what's going to come in the next month and what happened past month, right? So there's a lot of things here that are being announced and also shared. Very high level production there. Different development teams are talking and sharing insights. So Cardano 360, check that out. The July editions should be coming out very soon. Now let's switch it over to Cosmos, right? So we talked a lot about Cardano, about their team, about the people, about the network, but also that they're pretty highly valued with a 50 billion market cap, and they don't even have smart contracts yet, right? So now let's look into Cosmos, right? So Cosmos, like I said, is this layer 0 technology. It's the internet of blockchains. And you already see here in the background, you have these bubbles with logos in it, right? Thorchain, you have Terra, even Ethereum and Bitcoin here, crypto.com. So those are all projects that are either built on the Cosmos SDK, which is one of the most used development kit that blockchains are running upon, right? So yeah, according to that site, there are currently 248 applications and services running, which makes a total of more than $60 billion worth of assets that are running on Cosmos. Just to put that into context, on Cardano, there's currently zero, right? So you compare 0 to 60 billion. What does this number mean? Let's explore. Let's look into that. This number means that currently projects that are built on Cosmos, on the Cosmos SDK or the Tendermint consensus algorithm, right? Like Binance Coin, BNB, running on the Binance Smart Chain, which is built on the Cosmos SDK or leverages the Cosmos SDK and Tendermint. So you can see here a list of projects that are already built on Cosmos and running, and some of them are even interconnected through IBC, which I'll get to in a second. You have Binance Coin with the ticker symbol BNB, right? 43 billion market cap. You have the Cosmos Hub with the coin Atom. You have OKX Chain with OKB. Crypto.com, CRO, Terra with the coin Luna, big project. Very strong funding from big VCs around the world. And also they have already a huge ecosystem and 2.5 million users, I think even more than that. Terra is a Korean project that was integrated with the native app there called Chai. And Chai is like this mobile payments app in Korea. They have millions of users. So Terra is integrated into that. But also they have, within the crypto space, they have two projects built upon Terra. So those are Anchor Protocol and also Mirror Protocol. Mirror is a tokenized synthetic asset marketplace. And Anchor is the home basically of UST, because you can stake your UST on Anchor Protocol and farm Anchor at almost 20% APY, which is crazy. Then you have Thorchain. They launched a lot of products, TorSwap and other things, even though they just got hacked, but there was a small bug that has already been immediately resolved, but still those things happen, right? That's why I always remember that crypto is still early experimental technology, especially if you tackle really big problems. KuCoin token, Kava.io, a persistence, band protocol for oracles, injective protocol, a cash network for computing, just had a CEO on my channel as well. IrisNet, the equivalent of Cosmos in China, collaborating with the Chinese blockchain service network. And Iris has been chosen as the ground layer to enable that interoperability because it's built on Cosmos, right? So those are things that are really important to see and to understand. Secret network for privacy, CertiK is an auditing protocol. Guys, all across the board, we have so many projects. SIFT great projects. They're also launching their DEX. So there's so many things here, so many projects that already have strong funding, product demand, product market fit, active user bases. Now you see all those chains and you think, what do you mean they're running on Cosmos? So the purpose of Cosmos, and that's also how it differentiates to something like Polkadot. In Cosmos, all Cosmos-based blockchains are sovereign. They have their own security rules, they have their own validator rules, and they're basically own blockchains. But if you build them on the Cosmos SDK, which now natively implements IBC, the inter-blockchain communication protocol, they're all compatible to each other. And you can actually hold all of these coins in the same wallet, for example, right? So that's what I mean. It's basically like all ERC20 tokens, just with the difference that ERC20 tokens all depend on Ethereum. And here, none of these chains depend on a Cosmos hub. Right? Those are sovereign networks and sovereign blockchains with their own user base, with their own product market fit, with their own network rules, and they can even modify that. So that's pretty cool. And I've talked to a lot of developers. They actually say like, man, Stargate is one of the most friendly and most elastic and flexible developer frameworks that we can build upon, right? It's so easy to use and so cool. Now, the Cosmos SDK is also, like I said, built on Tendermint, which means that it's proof of stake based and way more efficient and greener than proof of work chains, for example, out there. Very low fees and very smart, fast transactions throughput. And yeah, there's a lot of things that you can build on top of, but that have already been built on top of, right? So we're going to look into the most important thing that is now coming out, that is has been announced last week and is going to be released this month, in the month of July. So make sure you put that website on your watch list. It's called Emeris.com, coming soon, actually very soon, this month again in July. And what it is, basically, it's a DeFi portal. So it's a front end or dashboard that gives you access to all Cosmos-based DeFi applications, right? So that has a very long vision behind. And the purpose is that you have one-stop shop, one site that you access, and maybe it's going to come as an application for your phone as well in the future, one place where you can get access to DeFi products on different chains, right? The first one is definitely going to be the Gravity DEX, which I've covered here a couple of times now. It's the native DEX that runs on the Cosmos Hub, and it's going to be the home of Atom, the new home of Atom. So this is also a big new use case for Atom. Besides securing the network, securing the chain, and using it for governance, Atom is also going to be the native fuel on Gravity DEX, and also for liquidity, right? So you can provide liquidity with Atom. That's really, really cool to see. Now let's wrap it up with some network stats here. On Cosmos, currently 70.47% of the tokens are bonded, means that they are staked, and there's a 3-week unbonding period. So those tokens are more or less illiquid. And another important analytics side to keep track of is IBC transfers and IBC activity, right? So you can see here Osmosis, which has been the first DEX or AMM on Cosmos, but Osmosis is running on its own network, on its own chain. 329 daily active users today, and weekly they have 5,200. The Cosmos Hub has 8,800. You can see here all IBC transfers. This is all on chain, and you can see here this network is growing and growing and growing exponentially. I remember a couple of months ago there was literally a few dots, and now we have a lot of dots, and soon we'll have even more dots. So this is cool to see. This is the internet of blockchains, and yeah, I'm really excited for that as a use case. Now, to wrap things up, as you could probably see from this video, I'm excited about both projects. I think Cardano was a better buy this time around a year ago. I think right now Cosmos is a much better buy, which is why I'm switching most of my ADA over to Cosmos. I've actually already done that, but I'm still keeping some ADA because I think ADA has potential, especially if smart contracts come and the whole DeFi ecosystem really, really grows on Cardano. Really looking forward to see that. But other than that, I just see the gap in the asymmetry between Cosmos and Polkadot or Cardano and all these big projects that are in the top 10 is irrational to me. So that sooner or later could get filled, and Cosmos could really catch up because it's the most advanced interoperability project in the world. That said, leave me your thoughts down in the comments if you like this video, if I missed something, if I shared something wrongly. I'm just a guy sharing his personal views and experiences here on the crypto market from nearly 5 years now, 4.5 years, being in this industry full time. And yeah, that said, stay safe, guys. Be good, and I'll see you in the next one.